Well, welcome to Fans Banter, the world's smallest Liverpool fan channel. And the reason I'm sort of smiling is because I've just started the intro and I didn't have the microphone on. And I had some of the spoilers up at the top of the screen as well, the result. But I'm going to make you wait till the end for that one. So listen, it's match day 30. This is our preview of Liverpool versus Spurs at Anfield. And today we're going to go through some of the recent form of Spurs. They've been pretty poor lately, but we still go through it. And anyway, we'll have a look at some of the history from Liverpool and Spurs, and then a team selection that I would prefer. I'm not going to do Arne Slot's possible team selection. I'm going to do a team selection that I would prefer to face Spurs at the weekend, and then we'll have a little score prediction right at the very end. So let's get on. Let's have a look at Spurs, the last 5 games. Not much to see here. Not much to see here at all. A lot of losses. Anyway, 2-1 loss to Newcastle, a 4-1 loss to Arsenal, a 2-1 loss to Fulham, a 3-1 loss to Crystal Palace, and then that game during the week, which there was a lot of talk in the media about, a 5-2 loss to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. I won't do Liverpool's last 5 because if you're a Liverpool fan, you already know what they are. And yeah, so there's no point in going over that as well. It's not too great either, by the way, if you don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the history between Spurs and Liverpool. That's when Spurs visit Anfield, they have a very poor record, to be quite honest. Their last victory at Anfield was back in 2011 when they won 2-0. Usually a high-scoring game between Liverpool and Spurs. Liverpool beat Spurs 6-3 away in December 2024. And then they would have 5-1 demolition of Spurs at Anfield in 2025, secured Liverpool's league title. The biggest win that Liverpool have had over Spurs remains a 7-2 victory at Anfield in 1914. And that was a long time ago. And in the most modern era, there was a 5-0 win at White Hart Lane in 2013. So yeah, Spurs really struggle against Liverpool, and I don't expect this weekend to be too different, to be quite honest. I expect Spurs' miserable form to continue, and I think they will struggle at Liverpool. So what sort of team would I prefer to see take on Spurs at the weekend? Well, this is it. I'm presuming Alisson will be fit for the weekend. Arne Slot said it was just a little niggle, more of a precautionary thing, but he said the same about Wirtz, and Wirtz ended up being out for 2 weeks. But I'll go on the premise that Alisson will be fit. So there, if Alisson is fit, he starts. I think that's clear. Konate and Van Dijk will be the 2 partners in the middle. Excuse me. We've no choice, really. Even after Konate's howler in Galatasaray, he still has to get the nod because there's really nobody else to put in his place. Out on the left full back, I would bring Kerkez back in. I think he will do okay at the weekend. He's probably a bit lost against Galatasaray for large portions of the game, but I think he'll bounce back and he'll be more than strong enough to take on Spurs at the weekend. Out on the right, I'd go Gomez, and that's because you'll see up front, just in front of Gomez, I've dropped Salah, and I'd give Frimpong the nod. So my midfield would also be Jones, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. I would give McAllister a rest. I don't think he's playing very well. And I think Jones deserves a run out, to be quite honest. And you will also notice that I have no Wirtz there because I don't think Wirtz is fully fit, and I don't think he performed very well against Galatasaray either. So I think I'd sit him out as well. I'd have a partnership of Jones, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. Out on the right, you can also see the manager made it quite plain at the weekend that our fear that Cody Gakpo cannot be dropped from a Liverpool team was quite wrong, because he was dropped from the starting lineup. So in this one again, I'd drop him again. I'd still sit him on the bench, and I would go Rio Engamoa out on the left against Spurs. I think that would be a great option for a Spurs team that are really struggling. Up front, the main man through the middle would be Hugo Ekitike, again, because we have no other options. So Hugo Ekitike will get the start at Spurs for me in any way. But if I was his manager, I would have had him on the training ground all week working on his headers, especially since Frimpong and Engamoa I would have out on the wings. So maybe a lot of headers in the game for Ekitike. So if I was his manager, he would have been doing a lot of heading practice this week. So that would be my preferred team to play Spurs at the weekend. So let me go through it again one more time for you. Alisson in goal, Kanate, Van Dijk as the centre halves, Kerkez the left full back, Gomez the right full back, Jones, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in the middle of the park. Out on the wing, I would have Frimpong. Out on the left wing, I would have Rio Engamoa. And then the man through the middle would be Hugo Ekitike. They would be my preferred starting 11 to face Spurs at the weekend at Anfield. And I think that Liverpool team is more than strong enough to beat a really struggling Spurs team at the moment. Let's face it, they have their own problems. So my score prediction for the weekend, I would go 3-0 to Liverpool. I think it'll be a comfortable win in fairness. And I think if we do win well, it will give us a bit of confidence going into the game on Wednesday against Galatasaray in the Champions League. Much needed confidence, to be quite honest. Anyway, that would be what I'd put out. I don't know whether you agree with that. I have a feeling Arne Slot wouldn't agree with that, but they would be my 11 to face Spurs at the weekend. Listen, thank you so much for watching the video. If you do happen to have got through the video, please think of giving us a little thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out a lot. Listen, until the next time we're here on Fans Banter, stay safe, look after yourselves, and enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. That's Fans Banter.